If you're thinking about buying a detached home in South Surrey or White Rock, you should know these houses have stories, not just who lived in them, but how they were built. Out here, you're not choosing between a couple cookie cutter options. You've got everything from wide sprawling ranchers to 70s and 80s BC boxes to 90s style family homes, early 2002 stories, all the way up to massive custom built homes that feel like boutique hotels. And if you're new to the area, or even if you've lived in the lower mainland your entire life, you might be surprised how differently these homes actually live. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through each major type of detached home you'll come across in South Surrey and White Rock, what they feel like and how they're laid out, as well as the little quirks that you're gonna want to know before you fall in love with one. And trust me, there are a lot of quirks. By the end of this, you're not only gonna be able to spot the difference between a 90s build and a newer infill, you'll have a much better sense of what kind of home actually fits the way that you want to live. If that sounds good, let's get into it right now.
You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right.
Hey, worth mentioning, my name's Darin. I'm a realtor based right here in the White Rock and South Surrey area, and I've been helping families buy and sell homes here all the way back since 2007. I've worked with hundreds of people over the years, many of whom found me right here on this very YouTube channel. So if you're seriously thinking about making a move and want some smart local advice with zero pressure, just real insight, there's a link in the description below of this video to book a time with me or my team. And together we'll help you make the right move with confidence. All right, if that sounds good, let's get into the video. You'll usually find ranchers in some of the more established pockets of South Surrey, places like Ocean Park, Crescent Heights, and parts of Sunnyside. And from the street, they can look pretty unassuming. One level, low roof line, sometimes a carport instead of a garage. You might even drive past one thinking, not for me. But here's the thing, ranchers are really sneaky popular. There's no stairs, no split level, no wasted space. Just one open, accessible floor plan, perfect for aging in place, raising kids, or just not dealing with stairs. They're also high in demand. Builders love them because they sit on large lots and can be redeveloped. Downsizers love them for their simplicity, and first time buyers love them as an affordable entry into detached living. If one's priced well, it's gone. They don't last. Most were built in the 60s through the 80s. So you'll see some with dated finishes, wood paneling, original linoleum, closed off kitchens, but the bones are solid and the layouts are more livable than you think. Big yards, privacy, and curb appeal that's easy to elevate with some landscaping and a coat of paint. If you want a home you can put your own stamp on, ranchers are a gold mine. And the best part, they almost always live bigger than they look. Now, if you're driving around the Warrock hillside or through older pockets of South Surrey, you've definitely seen the classic 60s and 70s homes. These were some of the first built homes in the neighborhoods, which means they're sitting on some of the best land, flat, quiet streets near schools, shops, or the beach. But they weren't exactly built for modern life. Everything's usually upstairs, kitchen, living, bedrooms, all on one level. The rooms are tight, closets are small, and hallways are super narrow. And then there's the basement. This is where it kind of gets weird. A lot of these homes weren't originally meant to have finished space downstairs. So over the years, owners kind of improvised. There's a wall here or a half bath there, or maybe a rec room that somehow connects to the furnace room and the laundry sink. You walk through and wonder, was this layout designed during a renovation? And the answer was yes. Yes, it was. But despite all that, these homes still have a lot going for them, starting with the location. You'll find them all over the White Rock hillside, in Ocean Park, and scattered through South Surrey. They're often on larger lots and appeal to everyone: families, investors, downsizers, builders. Some of them get gutted, some of them get torn down, and some of them are still rocking the original shag carpet, that kind of olive green. They're not always pretty, but they're part of these neighborhoods and they're part of how they grew. And if you're looking for a foothold in a prime location, these homes are where a lot of these stories started. Now it's time to talk about a true South Surrey staple, the BC box, just like this house here behind me or the one behind me over here. Now, if you spent any time in Sunnyside, King George Corridor, Crescent Park or Ocean Park. You've seen them everywhere. You've seen them all over the lower mainland. They're everywhere. The term BC box is a real term. These homes are basically big rectangles built fast and efficiently in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They're two levels, simple footprint, simple roof line, usually stucco or vinyl siding, maybe even sometimes wood. But why box? Well, that's because that's what they are inside. It's three bedrooms up, living room up front, kitchen and dining in the back, and maybe a small deck off the kitchen. Downstairs, a rec room, maybe, a spare bedroom, maybe, another bath, maybe, and whatever else the last few owners decided to add. Sometimes tidy, sometimes it's a DIY time capsule. But here's why people love them: they're incredibly flexible, they're great for rental income, easy to add a basement suite to or a suite, and simple to renovate. If you're thinking about adding a basement suite, this is probably the easiest house style to work with. There's no weird corners, there's good ceiling height, clean plumbing lines, and one more thing. If you see a garage with these types of homes, there's a decent chance that it used to be a carport someone enclosed 20 years ago. They're not flashy, but they really do work. And when they're renovated, they can be beautiful. And when they're priced right, they absolutely fly off the market. Now, fast forward to the 90s and early 2000s. This is where we move into what most people picture as a suburban family home. Two-story living, decent sized lots, about 1,800 to 3,000 square feet of living space. These homes usually sit on lots about 7,000 to 8,000 square feet, which means you get a real backyard, driveways, and space between houses. Layout wise, they're pretty intuitive. Main floor has your kitchen, dining, living room, and maybe a den or a laundry room, access to the backyard. Upstairs is bedrooms, bathrooms, and maybe a rec room of the garage. Some of these homes have basements, but not all, so you'll want to check the listing if that's important. And you'll find a lot of this style in South Meridian and in those neighborhoods tucked between Crescent Beach and 16th Avenue. But here's a catch: they're just old enough now to feel a little dated, but not quite vintage. So you'll see oak railings, tile countertops, maybe even original light fixtures. But many have been partially or fully updated, and a lot of them live really well. If you're up for a light reno, these homes have a ton of potential and the bones are great. Next up, the modern homes, usually built from 2010 onward. You'll find these in areas like Grandview, Rosemary Heights, and throughout White Rock where older homes have been knocked down. Also scattered around Crescent Heights and Ocean Park in pockets where redevelopment is happening. These homes are almost always three levels: basement, main, and upper floor, and tend to have a more narrow and vertical footprint. You might walk up a few steps to reach the front door, depending on how the lot was graded. But inside, it's open concept everything: kitchen, dining, and living, all on the main level. Bedrooms upstairs, full basement below. These homes tend to be on smaller lots. As land prices climbed, lot sizes shrank. So you'll get less yard, tighter side setbacks, and a little more of a community feel because you're a little more squished together. But they're usually really walkable, close to parks, schools, and shops, and packed with modern features: quartz countertops, matte black fixtures, upstairs laundry, big windows, energy efficient. They show really well. One note though: while most have basements, adding a legal suite isn't always easy. Modern layouts don't always leave clean separation for suites, and you'll need to navigate zoning, parking, and privacy. But for people who want something move in ready and low maintenance, these homes are a great option. And finally, we've got one more type of home on our list, which is prevalent all over White Rock and South Surrey, and that is the custom builds, the mega homes, the mansions, the showpieces. You'll find them in Chantrell, Crescent Park, Morgan Creek, on the White Rock hillside, and even tucked into larger lots in Grandview or scattered throughout South Surrey. They come in all styles: West Coast modern, craftsman transitional, but the quality stands out. Chef's kitchens with double islands and built-in espresso bars, primary suites with spa-level bathrooms, basements with golf simulators, theaters, wine cellars, the works. These homes are built to impress, and they do. Some could easily be featured on HGTV. Some already have been, in fact. And what's interesting is they're often mixed in with older homes, not just in exclusive enclaves. That contrast between the new and the old is part of what makes this area so unique. So, whether you're looking for a simple rancher, a rental, a friendly BC box, or a modern 3 story, or something custom that turns heads, South Surrey and White Rock has a surprising amount of variety. And if you're curious about what the ultra luxury lifestyle looks like out here, who lives in these homes, where they are, and what they actually sell for, well, that's exactly what we're diving into in the next video. So stick around because you're going to want to see that.
This home behind me is worth more than most people will make in their entire lifetime. And that's because I'm standing in front of the most expensive home in all of White Rock and South Surrey.